Over yonder in the graveyard, where the wildflowers grow, there they lay, my own true lover. She's gone from me forevermore. Fairer than the sweetest flower, restless as the wildest wave, born with a love deep as the ocean. This is the girl that I did win. Left her there back in the mountains to see the world riches to gain. Where I turn, no earthly treasure could ease this heart so filled with pain. I go away and I will wander, lay aside my earthly gain. Oh, I'll not end as a man with riches, undone in sorrow. They're so high above the mountain, beneath the little mountain plain. The girl that I returned to marry, so still among the flowers they lay. Come round and stand by me, little girl. Come round and stand by me. I wish to the Lord I'd never been born or died when I was young, little girl. Died when I was young. red lips, or heard your lying tongue, little girl, or heard your lying tongue. Well, you told me more lies than the stars in the skies. You'll never get to heaven when you die, little girl. You'll never get to heaven when you die. Thanks very much. It's good to be back on stage here again. We had a lovely time playing over the other side of the fields earlier. And this looks like it's going to be fun too. We can't see quite as well here. We were warned before coming on here that we needed sunglasses, so dug around in the depths of the car and found these, they're very scratched, and I'm not sure they're real sunglasses. I think they were free from an Austrian newspaper or something.
They did have a UV 400 sticker on them when I took them out of the box.
Yeah, but I could put one of those on anything. They're kind of completely black. I can't really see anything, but except for the scratch bits where I can see. We're going to do a new song. Did anyone see us over on stage one earlier? Oh, that's not very many of you. We could just do the same set. There will be bits of the same. But for the benefit of those that did see us early, we'll stick a few changes in. This is one that we played over there. And it's a fairly new song. We have a friend who's a documentary filmmaker, and he sent us an email last summer saying that he was doing a documentary about the way different faith groups around the world deal with climate change and the environment. And as part of that, he was filming a church service that was happening near us, and they wanted some music for the service. And the purpose of the service was that they were going to read out the names of every species that's gone extinct in the past 100 years. And they'd chime the church bell to commemorate every single one of those. I think the list, I can't remember the exact number now, it was in the hundreds, so actually we didn't stay till the end. We did have other Charlotte's got, well, she's got a 2-year-old and a 4-month-old now. At the time she just had the 2-year-old who wasn't a 2-year-old yet, but we had to get home for him. So we couldn't stay to the end, but it was a beautiful service, and we decided that we'd write a song especially for it rather than try and think of something suitable that we already knew. So this is that song, and it's called Already Gone. I was the last of my kind. How I wish I was alone. For too long you've been blind. Another name on the list of those already gone. The church bell tolls for our loss. My heart breaks with every chime. No shallow grave, no wooden cross to mark the end of the line. I was the last of my kind. How I wish I was alone. For too long you've been blind. Another name on the list of those already gone. World of greed, one not need. You threw so much away. Fragile earth, she cannot breathe. Fights to live another day. I was the last of my kind. How I wish I was alone. For too long you've been blind. Another name on the list of those already gone. Must believe the world can heal, though the scars will always be. Remember them, remember me, before the desert meets the sea. I was the last of my kind. How I wish I was alone. For too long you've been blind. Another name on the list of those already gone.
And we're going to do an Alison Krauss song now. You probably have guessed that we might be massive Alison Krauss fans. And any act that's introduced as remotely bluegrass is going to be a massive Alison Krauss fan, really. So this is one of her very first CDs. I can't remember. Is it off Too Late to Cry, or I've got that old feeling. Anyway, a CD that she recorded when she was 16 or 18. I can't remember which. And it's always been one of our favourites of hers. It's called Gentle River.
I've lived a life full of sorrow, with nowhere to run but hide. Happiness you'll see happier day. Yes. All I need is love and company. Gentle river, bring back to me. You can't spend all your time crying. Listen here, I don't need your sympathy, 'cause I've made my life living. All I need is you here with me, gentle river. Take me away to the time of happier day. Yes, all I need is love and company. Gentle river, bring back to me. Gentle river, bring back to me.
Right, we're going to get the banjo out and do a mystery song. We've gone off piste a bit with the set list. Well, a bit entirely actually. Lady Hannah, I'm on the right instrument. That's good. Isn't this nice? I'm having a really nice time up here.
Can't get over my sunglasses. I'm stuck.
What would you do if you were a solo act? I don't know how people do solo acts.
No.
You need an assistant for things like that, don't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, stick my mic. Nice like that. This mic has come to a lot of gigs with us, and it's kind of like the third member of the duo anyway, so there we go.
Do you want to introduce the song?
Oh yeah, I forgot that bit. Yeah, so this is a song that we wrote inspired by a ghost story from Dartmoor. We grew up in Salcombe in South Devon, so not all that far from the moors. Although this is from Oakhampton, so the north bit of Dartmoor, so a bit further. Anyway, there used to be, a long time ago, there was a lady there called Lady Mary Howard, who was very wealthy, and at a young age she was married off to the first of 4 husbands for sort of political, financial reasons. She didn't like him very much, but I guess luckily for her, he died fairly quickly. And then she was given another man to marry. He also died quite quickly. She didn't like him either. And there was a third one. She didn't like him either. He didn't last long. And then there was a fourth one who also didn't last long. She did apparently like the fourth one a bit, but still didn't last very long. I don't know whether... It's not clear whether she had anything to do with the deaths of 4 husbands. She herself lived to quite a great age, but anyway, when she finally did die, she was, for some unknown reason, cursed to rise from her grave every night at midnight and get into a coach made of human bones, which some say are the bones of those dead husbands. And the driver of the coach is headless. The horses that pull the coach are headless. She is headless in this vision. So now I think this is an important factor, there's a dog that runs ahead of the carriage, and it's one of these sort of big black dogs that apparently the devil in dog form or something like that, and if you see it, something bad will happen to you or a loved one. The reason I think the dog is there is that no one has heads, so they need a guide dog. Anyway, the dog has an important job. They have to go from the gatepost of her house. I think the house is long gone, but the gatepost, they sort of rise up out of the ground there, and they travel a few miles to a mound where, back in her day, I think a castle used to be, and the dog has to pick one blade of grass off the mound, and then they all ferry that blade of grass back to her gatepost, and there's a stone next to it where the dog has to leave this single blade of grass. And the story goes that if the dog manages to completely clear the mound of grass, then Lady Howard can finally rest. So it's going to take some time, one blade a night, I think. We haven't been to check this out, because if you see the dog you'll die, but given the size of your average castle, I imagine it's a fairly sizable mound. So that's that story.
Yeah.
This is Lady Howard. Oh, I've just spent all that time tuning it, it's not in.
There's a lady, all day sleeping, all day sleeping in her grave. But her rest is not eternal, for the night makes her its slave. When the bell tolls at midnight, she is dragged from her sleep. There a coach, her is waiting, to the castle they do speed. Lady Howard rides in style, head of the coach, a gruesome pile of human bones. 4 sable horses, and the coachman goes without his head. A black dog, big as horses, speeds ahead and leads the way. 16 miles they must travel, all before the break of day. From a mountain outside the castle, the dog must raise a single blade. Not a stone by Fitzford House gate, the blade of grass is laid. Lady Howard rides in style, head of the coach, a gruesome pile of human bones. 4 sable horses, and the coachman goes without his hat. This is the curse they must suffer night after night. When spirits reign, take grass from the castle till lonely earth and stone remain. There's a lady, all day sleeping, all day sleeping in her grave. But her rest is not eternal, for the night makes her its slave. Thanks very much. So we're going to do another curse song now. This is a story from Wiltshire about a church in the village of Odstock, and it certainly used to have a large population of gypsies there, and there was a
a big to-do when someone got hanged. I guess that's more than a to-do, really, isn't it? But anyway, there was a horse that got stolen, and the sort of the patriarch of the gypsies got blamed for it by his son-in-law when it was the son-in-law that did it. So this well-respected older man was hanged for it, and there was big uproar and everything. And anyway, he got basically the gypsies fell out with the other villagers, and this is the story of what happened there. And there was a curse put on the church, and the curse was such that whoever should lock the door of the church would die. Laura says apparently that curse has now been lifted, and they can lock the church door at Odstock if they want to. Whether or not I'd want to be the one to test that out, I don't know, but this is, well, actually we don't have a name for this one yet, but this is that song.
Shy was stolen, Salisbury could have been the final straw. Lee should have hanged, but he framed his father-in-law. Old man Scamp was a well-loved man, patriarch of the gypsies. Hundreds gathered for a sad farewell in the Odstock churchyard. The life of a man for the loss of a horse, the key in the lock for the life of a man. 1 year he'd been in the ground, the gypsies gathered for a party, drank and covered his grave with flowers. At his feet they planted a yew tree. The tree grew fast and the tree grew tall. The vicar could not stand it, tore its roots up from the ground in the Odstock churchyard. Life of a man for the loss of a horse, the key in the lock for the life of a man. Curses flew from Mother Lee's lips. You preach a sermon. The warden's sons won't farm his land, and death unto the sexton. And when they barred her from the church, she hissed a final parting. Who dares lock this door will die in the Odstock churchyard.
We're going to do I think it's a traditional song now. Is it traditional? Charlotte learnt it from a recording of one of her favourite fiddle players, Clyde Davenport, who came from, is it Toast?
No, that was all down.
Ah, different one. It didn't come from a place called Toast. That's disappointing. There is a place called Toast. But it's irrelevant to this song. Anyway, this is a song called Lazy John. It's a fun little tune, but we like the words. It's sung from the perspective of someone who's really pleased with their girlfriend, because even though she's a bit ugly, she's good fun.
But she sure is a lot of fun. Why don't you go away, Lazy John? Lazy John, Lazy John. Why don't you get your day's work all done? You're in the shade now in the sun. Why don't you go away, Lazy John?
isn't it? Or is it C? C. Do you know on banjo? Do you on that? Right. We're going to do another sort of classic, old bluegrassy country song. This is one called "Don't This Road Look Rough and Rocky," and I should know who did it originally, but I don't. So I will fill this time with the obligatory. We do have CDs for sale. Somewhere I think there's a CD. I think they're waving. I'm looking at a tent and there are people waving in the tent, they're waving CDs. That looks like the place. So if you would like a CD, we've got them back there. Well, they've got some CDs. They might be ours, but I'm sure whoever's they are, they're very good and you should get them. What else can I say? Oh, hello to anyone watching online, which I think possibly includes our parents. It's nice that they do that. Mandolins have 8 strings and each one takes an hour to tune, it turns out. Has anyone got a really nice dog with them? I can see one passing, but any good dogs in the audience? No, it's a dog-free audience. That's really disappointing. Oh, I can see some wavers. I can't see your dogs. It's disappointing. Oh, I can see the sort of. There's one. I can see one over there.
There's one in the
see
air.
one there. Yeah.
wacky
Get on with
tail.
your tuning. I shouldn't have distracted her. You're done now. Okay, this is Rough and Rocky. Thanks for waving your dogs in the air. I'm sorry if they were asleep.
Darling, I have come to tell you, though it almost breaks my heart, that before the morning, darling, we'll be many miles apart. Don't this road look rough and rocky? Don't that sea look wide and deep? Don't my baby look the sweetest when she's in my arms asleep? I can hear the night birds crying far across the deep blue sea, while of others you are thinking. Won't you sometimes think of me? Don't this road look rough and rocky? Don't that sea look wide and deep? Don't my baby look the sweetest when she's in my arms asleep? One more kiss before I leave you. One more kiss before we part. You have caused me lots of trouble. You have almost broke my heart. Don't this road look rough and rocky? Don't that sea look wide and deep? Don't my baby look the sweetest when she's in my arms asleep? When she's in
We're going to play one now that we wrote about a man and his horse who we saw stood at the side of the road in the mountains, and he looked completely out of place. He was in very old-fashioned. This was in Austria, and he was in his traditional Austrian clothing, and his horse was very heavily laden with old leather saddlebags. And I'll let you carry on while I put this down. I wasn't really listening, so it's just nice to be able to switch off sometimes, isn't it? So I don't listen to what Charlotte has to say. Ever. No. I'm sure it's fine. The horse was very heavily laden down with old saddlebags, and this man was in his old-fashioned clothing, and they had an old map, and they just looked totally lost on this mountain pass. There was no way they could have got there except coming along a really busy, dangerous road. Or, as Laura decided was the case, the most sensible explanation for their being there was that they'd fallen through a hole in time. And so this is a song about that, and this is called Outside Time.
My best friend is troubled by flies. They bite his neck and they buzz around his eyes. He carries my load as he walks by his side. We depend on one another to survive. Life's so long and short, it's a straight and winding road. It's an uphill struggle and a gentle downhill stroll. When the sun sinks below the mountain peak, I string up a canvas and I lie down to sleep. In the deep black night, the stars shine bright till I wake with the early morning light. Life's so long and short, it's a straight and a winding road. It's an uphill struggle and a gentle downhill stroll. Quite where I'm going, I don't yet know. I follow where the lines of the map tell me to go. In my own world, it's a quiet life. I'm alone, I can live outside time. Life's so long and short, it's a straight and a winding road. It's an uphill struggle and a gentle downhill stroll.
If you ask me. Yeah. He doesn't need them anymore, does he? So, this is another map-based song. Not that was really about a map, but there was a map involved. And this is another map-inspired song. This is one... Laura used to have a map on her bedroom wall of the world, and it had marked on it not very much other than the world, and the highest and lowest points in the world were both marked. And Laura, in her stupidity, had always believed that the highest point in the world would be directly opposite the lowest point. So it's like if you stuck a finger in something and it just came out the other side. And that's not the case. They're actually, they're only 2 inches away from each other, aren't they, Laura? According to that map. Yeah. So Laura thought, great, day trip. They should organise a day trip, coach trip type thing to Mount Everest and Challenger Deep. That would be great. And then she thought just for 2 seconds longer and realised that wasn't very easy or possible at all. And yeah, you're tuning into the microphone. That's rubbish. Anyway, so I've lost my train of thought now. What was I talking about? Day trips. Yes, she realised that would be difficult and thought, no, I can't be bothered to even begin to think about the logistics of that. And for some reason that got her onto thinking about those songs that you get that are I love you so much, I'd do anything for you songs. And she thought, well, actually, you know, anyone in their right mind, no matter how much they love someone, there are certain things that you just think, no, I'm not doing that. And so this is a song for those people. And this is an I love you so much, I'd do anything for you within reason song.
I'd go from Challenger Deep to Everest Peak for you if you asked me to. But I'd be asking you, why are you out of your mind if you asked me just out of the blue? If you asked me to steal for you, it would take me by surprise. If you asked me to kill for you, then we'd have to say our goodbyes. I'd go from Challenger Deep to Everest Peak for you if you asked me to. But I'd be asking you, why are you out of your mind if you asked me just out of the blue? If you asked me to lie for you, I would not do it for free. If you asked me to die for you, I think you don't care for me. I'd go from Challenger Deep to Everest Peak for you if you asked me to. But I'd be asking you, why are you out of your mind if you asked me just out of the blue? I would not do it readily. If you asked me to love you, I could do that easily. I'd go from Challenger Deep to Everest Peak for you if you asked me to. But I'd be asking you, why are you out of your mind if you asked me just out of the blue?
We're into the map section of the set, actually, here. This is another sort of mappy type song in that it's inspired by my style of navigation, kind of. We came here in 2 cars because we've got various children and husbands with us and even more instruments, and they don't all fit in 1 car. But when we travel in 1 car, Charlotte tends to do the driving and I tend to do the navigating. And I like to make shortcuts on routes, and my idea of a shortcut is something that cuts through a sort of straight line through pretty countryside rather than going sort of in a square route on motorways. Charlotte insists that's not a shortcut because it takes longer, but it is shorter. Anyway, we were coming back from a gig. The gig was in North Wales, so I took us through Snowdonia, as is the only sensible route to go. I'd not been there before and thought, it'd be nice to see Snowdonia. So I instructed Charlotte to chauffeur me through the prettiest parts of North Wales. And we drove past a beautiful big house up on, just sort of raised up a bit on a hillside. And as we drove past, I noticed it had the date of 1912 written above the door. And although it was a good, sturdy-looking house, it kind of had a feeling of sadness about it somehow. And I was thinking about the date when it was built and how it wouldn't have been lived in for very long before World War I began, and how perhaps that was the reason for the sort of sad feel to the house. Perhaps it was someone's dream home that they finally finished building, and they were just getting started living in it, and then maybe they didn't live that long. So this is a made-up history of that house, and it's called 1912 House.
There's a house that sits up high, its panes reflect the darkening sky. The date sits proud above the door, but no one lives there anymore. It briefly was a happy home, a piece of mountain all their own. In summer each room bathed with light, in winter fires would warm the night. Inch by inch, stone by stone, built by strength of human hands. Those that built it are long gone. Love and loss hit hard, but still it stands. Became their greatest ever joy. 1914 came too soon. Faces fell as news spread through. His friends signed up, but he stayed on. He could not leave his wife and son. Inch by inch, stone by stone, built by strength of human hands. Those that built it are long gone. Love and loss hit hard, but still it stands. He had lost that right. In fear he clung on to his gun, but could not shoot nor could he run. So he never did come home. She couldn't manage on her own. The date sits proud above the door, but no one lives there anymore. Inch by inch, stone by stone, built by strength of human hands. Those that built it are long gone. Love and loss hit hard, but still it stands.
All right, we're going to do a sing-along. I'm just going to play a couple more for you now, I think. So this one is a song called Today is a Good Day. The Irish Times in a review once described this, and they meant it very much negatively, as being like an explosion in a Prozac factory. We kind of like that, but it is intentionally tongue-in-cheek, over-happy, and we'd love it if you'd sing along. Are you in a singing along kind of a mood? Yeah. Can you? Just there, so.
Yeah,
The people in the bar should be able to sing. Yeah, nice dog. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, if you could sing along with this one, that would be great. It has quite a lot of words, but the main bit that we want you to have a go at is the yodel. Just go for it. If you're not drunk, pretend you are, and you'll be fine. We're after volume, not any skill of any kind. Do you think you can do that? Yeah, about 2 of you do. 1, 2, 3.
Decided when I won't wear jeans with holes in. Gonna act like I'm no broke. I'll look to the back of the cupboard and take out my best dress. Gonna put my dainty shoes on. My hair won't be a mess. And the sun will shine though the sky is grey, and the birds will sing good lady, and I'll smile at everyone I meet. Today is a good day. I spread a rug in the garden underneath the apple tree, and in my mind there are blossoms, even though it's January. My bare arms should be freezing, 'cause the rain is falling heavily, but I'll pretend it's summer and the weather's heavenly. And the sun will shine though the sky is grey, and the birds will sing good lady, and I'll smile at everyone I meet, 'cause today is a good day. Underneath the apple tree, and in my mind there are blossoms, even though it's January. My bare arms should be freezing, 'cause the rain is falling heavily, but I'll pretend it's summer and the weather's heavenly. And the sun will shine though the sky is grey, and the birds will sing good lady, and I'll smile at everyone I meet. Today is a good day.
Okay, last shot as loud as you can.
And the sun will shine though the sky is grey, and the birds will sing good lady, and I'll smile at everyone I meet. 'Cause today is a good day. Yes, today is a good day.
Oh, thanks very much. Well, we're going to finish up with just a quick tune of Laura's now. This is one called Piggy Bank. And yeah, thanks so much for listening. Thanks to everyone at Shrewsbury for looking after us so well and feeding us cake. And yeah, we arrived and there were chocolate croissants. It doesn't really get any better than that. Yeah, that's good. This is our first time at Shrewsbury as a duo, and it's been really fun. We played, I think, 3 years ago with our bluegrass band Midnight Sky Race. So was anyone here then? About 1 or 2. Thanks for coming back. Anyway, it's been really fun. So this is Piggy Bank.